Most ridiculous. This is like spell work. Yeah, you would think I'm doing spell work. So, hello everyone. Well, what an incredible moment we just had getting ready for this and just wasted 3 of my 4 incense and almost lit ourselves on fire. So, already off to a messy energy this Sunday. As we remember, the last time I left you, I predicted another plane crash or a plane malfunction. And because I said this is going to keep going on while you have this Pluto-Uranus conjunction with Mercury in Aquarius. And lo and behold, I was right once again. So not only did my last prediction come true because I predicted another plane crash, but then after that I said there's going to continue to be issues that are based with Uranian qualities. And today my friend sent me a article about a plane going down in Boston, not even like having a huge malfunction and not even taking off. So this is continuing, and I was pulled to come online and talk because since I guess my readings have been so clear and accurate this past week. I mean, they're usually pretty clear and whatnot, but this past week specifically, things have been so clear and 1-to-1. I'm almost getting a same-day return rate of predictions that like within 12 hours of me saying something's going to happen, it keeps happening. So I figured since we have the ball rolling and the past few days I've really been already discussing the collective energies. If you feel like you want to hear about me talk about the collective energies, please feel free to go back and watch one of the videos that I've posted. I'll link them both in the description, so they'll both be in the description. The one where I said my psychic prediction came true, now what, and the follow-up, which is your psychic power is rising. Both of those were collective readings for this week and discuss my thoughts on the astrology for the week and the qualities of the week, and also my predictions about why spirit is unfortunately causing these events to occur so that we as a society can wake up as a group. So if any of that interests you, which it should, it's really quite interesting, please go ahead and check out the videos. I'll list them in the description for the past week so we can discuss and go over those topics. Also, in addition, because Valentine's Day is coming out, I keep feeling a pull on here, like spirit's like, talk about me. I'm like, girl, I know. Also, because Valentine's Day is coming up, instead of reaching for a love reading, which but I don't know why that word came out of my mouth just now. That was crazy. That was a misspell. But later this week, I will be doing a more aggressive love reading for the month of February, I think. But if you want some love content, I'm not going to be talking about it here, but you can check out my love content in my future spouse reading, which I'll link below, and also my video that I just uploaded earlier today. If you're watching this on February 2nd, 2025, when I am uploading this, I uploaded a video earlier today about who is lusting after you. So something so fun and kind of, ooh, love it, you know, something spicy for the holiday content for Valentine's Day, because we want to have fun around here and not have all serious topics, because sometimes I'm sorry if I like to enjoy the ride. I'm sorry if after all this talk, you know, all this talk online, all this spirituality communities getting us towards our highest self and only operating in our highest self. Well, sometimes we have to be a little messy. Sometimes it's okay if humanity's a little messy. That's what the point is. Like for me, I don't like it when I don't know why I'm being pulled to talk about this, but this has been sitting on my spirit, so I'm going to talk about it. For me, and then I'm going to get to tarot, don't you worry, because I have something specific I want to go over today, which is specifically, so keep watching if you want to watch me do, because now the Grammys are playing right now as I'm talking. I'm putting a pin in a conversation I was just starting. Don't worry, I'll get back to it. I'll remember. The Grammys are occurring right now, and I kind of was thinking, since my readings have been good for the week and been very, very accurate, why don't I go ahead and do a collective dreams reading? Where are our dreams? I want to talk to my artists, my painters, my musicians, my theater people, my big dreamers, my film people, my fashion. I want to talk to you guys, people that are pursuing your dreams actively, or even business. I don't know what your dream is. I don't know what your dream is, girl. You know, everyone's got their own, you know, different story for different folks. But I wanted to do a collective reading about how is getting to our dreams going. How are we doing? Do we feel, are there edits that we need to make? I might even do piles. I don't know what I'll be pulled to do in a minute. So that could be exciting. And also because ironically, my ex is currently at the Grammys living out his life because he was like a nominated artist. So I just thought to myself, well, isn't it just so crazy how life plays out? This would be a great time to check in with the collective, knowing that I'm like, wow, because I know a lot of people have not, I guess, been in my position where they've seen like past partners of theirs go from relative obscurity to kind of overnight fame. So it's kind of an interesting situation to be in, and I'm just kind of like, you know what? This is a really lovely opportunity and a good chance to show everyone that like you too can have that happen for you. You know, no one is like no one is like good enough and not good enough. Does that make sense? Like it can happen for anyone. So I want to check back in with how do we think we're doing on that? All right, great. So if that interests you, stick around. But the thing that I was going to say earlier, the thing that's been weighing on my spirit is it bothers me when certain online content posts or like tarot channels and whatnot sort of like shame you all the time constantly for cutting off like quote unquote addictions like vaping, smoking weed, or alcohol. Because to me, I mean, I get it, some things need to be curbed and curbed seriously, but for those of us that barely have like a drink every other day kind of thing, like, or if I have a twisted tea, I mean, am I awful for thinking that's part of humanity? Part of the point of becoming a human and coming down and inhabiting a body from the spiritual world is being able to experience all of these senses. Like for example, in the zodiac, at the inception of from the spiritual plane, Pisces, into the human body, the little baby in the field, Aries, bop, the first thing that you have is ego and sense of self, right? And the second thing you're developing is Taurus, which is senses, material pleasures, all of these aspects, sight, sense, smell, touch, taste, all of these qualities are generated into inception at this point. So it's kind of strange to me for this like super hyper focused sober mentality that everyone seems to be living in all of a sudden. Like, I get it, do you, especially if it's for you feel your highest sense of self or good. If it's for you, period. But that being said, like, it can feel really judgy and shamey of people who partake in those things. So if you're one of those people, like for example, between you and me, I may partake in the Zaza, okay? And you know what? It's a lovely thing that has helped me tap in with spirit and helped me develop empathy over the past 10 years of my life. So before that, I was riddled with anxiety. I was awful. I was mean to other people constantly. And I had no sense of levity and ability to take myself out of my own anxiety that I had hyper focused in my pursuit of my dream. See that tie-in? See that tie-in? I know, I'm so good. I know, I'm so good. But when I did that, everyone does such a great job of making me feel terrible for a medicinal herb, which after speaking to the Native Americans and the people that I care about so deeply, the artists that I have had the amazing opportunity to work with in New York City and on their projects, because I work in theater, I work in professional theater in New York City, and I work with designers, and I've been honored to work on some amazing Native American productions, especially the past few years, and they have not only shown me how important and how spiritual some herbs were specifically made, like the usage of smudging. Do you know what smudging is? If so, look it up. I'm doing it right now. This is what we would do every single day as a group. We would put sage and other ingredients, other medicinal herbs into a clamshell and be given a feather, and we would pass it along and smudge our entire bodies before we even got to work. And we did that as a centering exercise. Think about it. Crews of like 50 people in a circle in New York City around the entire theater as we talk, get to know each other, pass the smell along, and they smudge everything. It's so lovely. Smudge the third eye, smudge the throat, smudge the heart, smudge the back, smudge the feet to carry us. It is so incredible. And I really think that those centering exercises are the things that really stand between people with addictions and who have gone too far out into sea to the Neptunian qualities versus those who have not. Because there is a world where all of these things coexist, because we admit that that's part of the humanic plane, right? I mean, God, when we started as humans, we pillaged the earth. So now you're going to stand here and tell me that certain things aren't allowed? Like, let's all just pump the brakes. So I just thought I would go ahead and say that. I don't know who needs to hear that today, but for me, that was something that I was just like, you know what? I want to talk about this for a second, because all I'm gonna say, drink responsibly, partake responsibly, bottom line. All right, cool. So now that we've gotten that out of the way, that was such a beautiful message. Thank you to Spirit. Spirit already managed to blow over the smoke somehow. That was, I don't even know when you did that. Blew the cone over. That's crazy. Spirit's so crazy. Look, it's still burning. That's crazy. Here, I'll pop it in here. Go with your brothers. Wow, look at that. That's almost spell-like, isn't it? I wonder if that's going to do something. I guess let's take a moment. Let's take a moment and honor ourselves and our spirit guides for how they have helped us achieve and pursue our dreams to begin with. Archangel Michael, Archangel Metatron, Archangel Uriel, Archangel Azrael, Archangel Gabriel, Archangel Raphael, Archangel Jophiel, Archangel Chamuel, Archangel Haniel, Archangel of Love, Archangel Zadkiel, Uriel. I said Uriel already, but I'm gonna get you again, Uriel, and all the rest. I'm not exactly remembering at this moment, but those are my main boys. To all of you who have guided us so far, please continue to guide us and bring us to our highest option. To all my viewers, especially watching this, to anyone watching this right now, please take them to where their dreams are meant to be. Please guide them on what the next steps are. And for my guides, my people listening, first of all, also thank you to my 2 subscribers. I'm so happy. I started this channel literally yesterday and I already have 2 subscribers. I feel so honored and excited and happy and ecstatic to be doing this. It's been such an amazing change the past few days and I can't wait to keep it up. I started journaling this year too, so this has been an excellent thing in addition to my journaling, and I got off of all the social media apps, which has been really, really interesting and fun to live without them for a while. But I don't know why I was called to say that too. Maybe you were considering that, and this is my saying to you. Maybe this is your moment. Look deep into the candle and tell yourself, I vow to make a change and commit to my own highest good to pursue my dreams. And may the archangels guide both you and me so that we may have the best possible outcome. Beautiful. All right. And so now I'm going to pull some tarot, get some advice. Okay. For my dreamers spirit, don't worry, I'll light some new sage. We want to make sure we're covered. We want to make sure we feel completely covered and protected and smudged just the way we want to. Especially while we talk about our dreams, something so protected and personal to each and every one of us that we don't want anything to come between the pursuit of it. Spirit. How is the collective doing on their dreams generally? How would you say the collective is doing generally? How would you say, I know that's right. How would you say the collective is doing generally? Oh, wow. Fabulous. 4 of Wands. A lot to celebrate. Invitations, parties, engagements, excitement. Maybe things are working out. Things are looking up. So maybe, and things are taking off. So maybe you've recently had an uptick in going out, or maybe you've started to pursue your dreams all over again. I love to hear that the collective is going after it, and in a way that's fun and jovial and celebratory with friends. You know, maybe events. Maybe you've been even trying to network the way you used to hear about people doing in like TV or film, you know, making sure you go to those parties to meet those people like you're in Sex and the City, and get the chance to speak to them and you know, make the connections you want to make and meet the people that you want to meet, and the record producers I'm hearing, and artists and agents and whatnot. I know that can be tough. I have acting agents personally. I also act, so you know me. I'm talking about myself too here. We're all in this together, of course. And my agents have been sending me on some beautiful auditions, so this is so lovely. So this is great. This is feeling like we're pursuing, we're trying, we're doing our best, especially because the Grammys are going on right now. So it feels like this is really a great penultimate moment for us as the collective pursuing our dreams. But for those of us who, for example, are not famous yet, oh, I just got a pop. Oh, the Devil reverse. Oh, be careful of pursuing just fame. Be careful of what we're going after. Are you watching and making sure you're looking at your expenditure, and also at the way that you're handling your vices? Just as I said before, are your vices getting in the way of your work, or are you pursuing in the way that you know is ethical? Because wow, 4 of Wands and then Devil reverse can be a wild back-to-back ideal energy. Like, let's make sure we're not going too far now. Let's make sure we're celebrating our wins and how far we've come, but also not going too crazy with things. I think it's interesting that the cat is in this position in both cards of like trying to reach out and get the attention of the humans. I think that's interesting. I wonder if that's metaphorical for something in your life, trying to get the attention of the people around you, whether that's your pets or your responsibilities, or that could be representative of a few things, you know? So that's interesting to think about as well. What's trying to get your attention if it's not involving the road to your dreams? Yeah, oh wow. Power dynamics, abusive generosity, charity is one way, or debts. Make sure you are charitable for others and not yourself. Sharp intellect for bad, gossiped, weaponizing, job hopping, and unsure. Yeah, exactly. I know that's right, especially my American people, because the way health insurance is acting right now, the way things are going on, it can be so hard to toe the line, because as Chaperone said earlier in the Grammys, you know, the young artist, when she literally said earlier, I'm being called to talk about this, she said, I just listened to her do it, she talked about when she first became an artist, she was picked up by a label when she was underage, and then they dropped her, and she had no job experience afterwards, and she was completely out on her own and unable to get a job or provide for herself during the pandemic. And I have been complaining forever that that is what's going on. I actually, in fact, wrote a musical literally specifically with this as one of the theme topics, because to me, there were so many artists that had to leave their job coming back to theater post-pandemic. I was honored to even have had the call. But when I went back, all of my peers were gone. All of my peers were gone. Nobody could survive in this position anymore, which is such an impossible swallow, that there'd be a world where it feels like our dreams are not necessary, which is so not true. That's the cover of it all. That's what's faking you out, is feeling like your dream isn't necessary, like you're not the next big artist, like you're not the next big voice, like you're not the next, like, let me ask you a question. Why can Benson Boone do it and not you? Why can Doechii do it and not you? Why can Doja Cat do it and not you? If you think, oh, that's never been done before, why aren't you the first? Why aren't you the first? Because you know what, I'm gonna say something crazy. The future feels like it is very much internet based. And if there's a world where you can pivot from an online following to the world, that the thing that you want to do in order to gain money, it feels like that seems to be the only truth in the way. That's what I'm hearing. That's kind of what I'm seeing. I'm seeing like going online and then using clout. I'm hearing clout to pivot to the work that you want to do. But you have to also remember through all of that to keep the course and remember what's morally good. Why did you start it in the beginning in the first place? What did you want to say with your message and your outreach? What did you want to do? What new aesthetics did you want to create? What new images did you want to bring to the forefront? How did you want to be the next big designer? How did you want to be the next big artist? How did you want it to look? You know, are you making the Pinterest boards? Are you visualizing what it's going to look like? Are you getting closer? Are you doing the work towards the thing? You know, we don't become Chaperone overnight. She specifically said it herself. She's been saying, she's like, what? I'm the 10 years of work going to being an overnight artist, you know? So how are you doing those little things towards the bigger things? You know, so interesting. Thank you, Spirit, for that. Yeah, oh my God, Spirit. Three of Pentacles reversed, this lack of cohesion in these groups, and these Five of Cups reversed, recent personal setback, I'm a failure, overcome and forgive, lesson learned. Are you moving on the way that you need to be? Are you taking the L's in stride? Okay, because really, truly, the people that take the most L's are the ones that take the biggest W's. Wasn't it Albert Einstein that said something comparable to that? Who was it that said you miss 100% of the shots that you don't take? Michael Jordan? I don't even know, but that's what I'm hearing in my brain. Like, this is a situation where we're fighting the devil in who wants to, and the devil in this case is laziness, is telling yourself no. The devil is in the little narcissistic voice in the back of your head, that intrusive thought that tells you, not you. That goes down the line like Regina George. I'm seeing like the fucking, I'm seeing kickball or whatever. No, what's that? Oh my God, dodgeball, going down the line, being like, you, not you. Oh wait, that's New York, Tiffany Pollard. I know, I'm hearing Tiffany Pollard doing it. She woke up, she said, I'm gonna ruin her morning. Hello, good morning to you, good morning to you, good morning to you, good morning to you, not you, good morning. Like, you think the back of your brain is telling you that that's what Spirit is doing to you, which is so crazy. The thing that's holding you back is you. I'm sorry, I'm laughing, which means it's a confirmation. It's just funny to me the way that I'm hearing delusion is the best way. Sometimes you need to believe in yourself to the point of delusion to get to the back. I'm hearing to get to the back, get to the point. Lock in, What is that one awkward kid in your class that all of a sudden blew up on Instagram? What do they have that you don't have? They're posting TikToks more often than you, girl. That's what they have. I hate to point everybody and their mother towards the internet. But damn if there isn't 7 billion people on this planet whose watch time per day is up to like 12 hours, with several websites with algorithms specifically designed to push content towards the people that need to hear it. I don't know. At what point do you say to yourself, maybe I'm self-sabotaging? At what point do you say, maybe it's me? Maybe I'm the one in the way of my dreams. Maybe I'm not and the perfectionist tendencies that you say to yourself, well, this isn't good enough, so I might as well not show anyone. Well, how do you know it's not good enough? How do you know? Because I gotta tell you, I don't know who needs to hear this. I've worked in theater a long time, okay? I have seen, I'm hearing it's the best of times, it's the worst of times. I have seen, Tale of Two Cities, baby. I have seen the worst performances you can possibly think of, and in the same theaters, the best performances you can possibly think of. Did every Grammy performance you've ever seen wow you? Right. But I bet you that you have an artist that nobody else likes that you love, right? Oh, you hate to hear me cook. You hate to hear me cook. You hate to hear me get close. Ooh. When I was a kid, I used to fantasize about the day that I would accept an award on stage or whatever. And I got to tell you, every day I get closer and closer and closer. And although I might not be an overnight sensation as like a 20-something, you know what I mean? Or even though I might not be like a huge artist as like a youngin', the way that some of these people were destined to be, ain't nothing gonna stop me from going after being, I don't know what, a pop star at age 40. I don't know. If that's my vibe, that's my vibe. You know what I mean? There's a way and there's a truth and there's a way to do it. I don't know. Like, you're gonna tell me to my face, like, I dance, I sing, I act, I do all sorts of things, and I also play guitar, right? So you're gonna tell me to my face that I couldn't put together a performance that would be good enough to perform on the Grammys? Okay, be real. And I know you're exactly the same way in your individual lane, whether it be painting or design or drawing or your musicianship, whatever that may be, or maybe you're filmmaking or whatever. I mean, maybe you even make like textiles or whatever online and you want your shit to blow up. I know you're talking to the right one. Because I almost feel that at the end of all this, there's a world where the collective, like, not to say that the pandemic was lit for a while because we all were locked inside and forced to take in each other's amazing online content and also get each other the socialist items that we need without a lot of stress or strife at the time. But there's a world where that can be every day. That can be provided for artists, like where people who didn't need to prove that they'd been working to get the $600 in a relief fund. You know what I mean? Those my adults in the chat will know what I'm talking about. If you're a kid, whatever. But for my adults in the chat, for those of us that were working 40 hours a week pre-pandemic and then signed up afterwards, we got that $600 a week bonus. And all my artist friends got zilch, got nada, because they didn't have exact week to week, up to 40 hours a week provable type tax return. My gig workers, my people that were working like 70-hour weeks for like 3 months on a Broadway show and then a month off and then another show. They couldn't prove and make ends meet, couldn't prove the month difference, and then got screwed out of that money. There's a world where all of us are making that money anyway, especially my artists. Chappell Roan said it herself, to the record labels. We have your back, but do you have ours? Right, exactly. So if I were to change anything in this world, I would create more equitable living wages for artists. So maybe that's something that I can see you do, us change in our lifetime, that, because in reality, things like YouTube are some of the only ways some content creators like that will ever receive equitable, fair rate wages for the work that they've been doing. So credit to YouTube and such websites like that for even providing platforms for that, because there's plenty of things that do not. Theaters certainly don't pay enough. Don't let me sit here and tell you that they pay. They don't. We do this for the love of the game half the time, which is how I end up on YouTube reading tarot for you. But you know what? That's not going to stop me from pursuing my dream. That's not going to stop me from trying to continue doing this every single day. I just need more monetary income, you know? But it's crazy because as a group, we've been so rude and crude and gossip mongery and so quick to tear each other down, as if there's a world where none of these people can all live in the same universe, in the same internet, and not be bullied, so we don't have to pick a top spot. You know what I mean? As if there has to be a top dog in everything at all times and everyone else must be taken out. As if there's only a life where haters and stans live. Sorry, I'm gonna get off my soapbox, but it's just so silly to me that it feels like you either stand or you hate. And you have to drag them if you hate them because you don't stand them, and because your stand is better. Or like whatever. Sometimes it's innocuous categories, two things that don't even make sense, like comparing Polyphia, the band, the like all instrumentalist band, to like Taylor Swift. Like, girl, it's not comparable. So there's things like that too that also frustrate me. I'm like, there's a world where all of us by our aesthetics work together, you know? Wow, look at that. Two of Wands. All the correct decisions made to get where we are and for future planning. And also, but also at the same time, we still feel that lack of direction. This came out sideways, so I'm going to take it sideways. That two things are true. That we have gotten to this moment that all the correct decisions are made. You did everything right that you need to have done to get to this exact moment. And you're watching this. This is confirmation, obviously, that you are literally closing in on your dreams, or that you've been putting in the effort, and Spirit sees that you've been putting in the effort, obviously. But you maybe are dealing with this lack of direction, and because there's so much going on. There's gossiping, there's power dynamic abuse, there's issues, there's lack of cohesion. Maybe maybe you're getting over something. Maybe there's feelings of stagnation, or you missed something. I hate that feeling. I hate that feeling like you didn't pick up the phone for that exact person, or send that exact right text that should have led to that. Let that all go. Okay, take some sage. Why don't you go ahead, take a second, smudge that out, look deep into this candle. You did great. All right? You're doing great. You're doing wonderfully. We're in this together. All right? All of your work is towards a greater goal for the whole collective. And isn't that amazing as well? Even to think that one correct move that you make might set up someone in the future to have an easier path to go down the same way as you. Now, isn't that what it's all about, really, at the end of the day? Like, even if there was a world where your dream didn't happen, that some little kid, some little you, some inner child you, because time is non-linear anyway, some reincarnation of you is given the chance that you never were, to go down the steps because you paved the way, because you tried your best. And we chip at it. I'm seeing this image of it's like almost Looney Tunesy, of the pickaxe at a brick wall, So there's a brick wall, so it's deep, so we don't know how far it goes, but we chip a little more each time. We chip a little more each time to get further. What a lovely message for me to be pulled to say. So, Spirit, talk to me about what's going to be going on. What can the collective do to get closer to their dreams? What can the collective do to get closer to their dreams? What can the collective do to get closer to their dreams? And you know what? I want to pick 3 different cards. What can the collective do? Thank you, card number 1. What can the collective do to get closer to their dreams? Watch this. Watch how I work. Watch Spirit work. Watch Spirit work. This is option 1. Give me another card, Spirit. What can this collective do to get closer to their dreams? Another card. Thank you. Not looking. Okay. What can the collective do to get closer to their dreams? What can the collective do to get closer to their dreams? One more. What can the collective do to get closer to their dreams? What can the collective do to go closer to their dreams? One more pile pick. And this is the Everyday Witch Tarot deck, by the way, in case I didn't say that. What can the collective do to get closer to their dreams? One more card. One more card. One more card. What can the collective do to get closer to their dreams, Spirit? Thank you. Okay. So go ahead in this moment. I'm going to let you pick. Pile 1. Card number 2. Pile 2. Pile 3. Card number 3. Which one would you like? Pick one. 1, 2, 3. Okay. for my pile number ones. The Hanged Man. You don't wait in vain. You are suspended for your longevity, for your benefit. Do not rush. A postponement to make a better decision is ahead. Wow, how interesting is that? That's a halt for good. So maybe if you are stagnated at this moment, you are literally feelings of stagnation. I mean, girl, but you have made all the correct decisions, even if you had a recent personal setback. Like, for example, maybe you didn't get that job. Maybe you didn't get that audition. Maybe you went to that callback. I had a rough week. I had the most insane week. I had this crazy audition on Tuesday. I got a call back in the room. I went home with bells on, prepped. It was 2 days later, 4 full sides, like 4-page sides I had to have ready for 2 days later for an audition. Oh my God, I busted my butt working, and I went to that callback and I left feeling just bereft, like I did not show my best self. Like everything that I had practiced was not coming out the way that I had intended, or like it wasn't funny or whatever, and I had to just eat it. And sometimes those are the hardest moments where you're like, I feel like I got so close and I did all this effort and it was just still so off. And that's me, like doing those professional auditions, like they can just take the wind out from underneath you. So I want you to know that I see you. You are not alone. If you had a personal setback of yourself like that, or maybe to that effect, I can tell you, you can feel like the biggest loser on the planet. I don't even want to hear you talk about yourself that way. Let it go, let it go, let it go, let it go, let it go. Ooh-saw, ooh-saw, take some sage. Take some sage, get that off your spirit, get that off your body. You know, there are other things at play here. Not every decision, yes or no, is directly determining of your self-worth. Ooh. Ooh, but I hate to hear that. Ooh. That's what I have for you, pile 1. Pile 2. Pile 2. Unattainable goals, unrealistic expectations. Wow, that's clear. So have you been going for something that's way out of whack that you are like nowhere near right now, kind of a thing? That might be a point to you say to yourself, have I been making the necessary steps? Have I been taking the necessary steps? This goes back to what I said on a reading from the other day about taking that step, and you lose that footing every time because the platforms are moving like you're in Super Mario. Are you taking the necessary steps to get to where you need to go? Or are you thinking that you're going to have something that's just going to fall from the sky? That's just gonna fall from the sky. Or maybe you're stopping yourself because you're saying, oh, my goals are unrealistic, my dreams are too large. Are they? Or are you thinking that? King of Swords. Are they? Or are you thinking that? I'd like to know. Because that's a situation where it could be either way, but you know what? If I'm being honest with you, this feels like a situation where if you've taken the steps towards your dreams, there's no size limit on what you could imagine yourself to do. But that being said, you've got to take the steps. Does that make sense? Don't set a huge lofty goal and then sit on your couch smoking weed all day. I have this image of you being like, yeah, I'm gonna be the next big great artist, this big great like singer, blah blah blah, or I'm gonna be famous online. Girl, be real. Be real, be real, be real, be real. And also, how are you doing towards your image then in that case too? You gotta think about all the other peripheral things. Is your money right? Is your body right? Is your situation with spirit right? Is your situation with yourself right? Have you been doing the work? I mean, there's so many things at play here. Just make sure you're hitting the steps. And finally, third, King of Pentacles reverse. The king falls from his throne. Once proposals, now lost. Your success based solely on appearance? It's just a phase. Wow. So this could be a number of things. The king falls from his throne. This is a similar situation of, do you feel like you just had to take a bit of a pause? Did you feel like this is a situation? I like that. Is your success based solely on appearance? So now versus group 2, my group 3, I would say to you, has the work that you've been doing only been outer work? Now that's a really interesting point. Has the work that you've been doing, like you've been hitting the gym, okay? Have you been cutting your vices? Have you been taking those singing lessons? Have you been going to those painting classes? Have you been doing the journaling? Have you been doing the mocking of writing? Have you been thinking about the story? Have you just been thinking about the stories, or are you drafting them? Are you sitting there like, this is a pause moment? Sure, maybe you've done the work and you're waiting, you know, or you've I like the idea of the king falls from his throne once proposals is now lost. Like, I love the idea of or I shouldn't say I love, but I'm getting this idea of like you suffering an L for a moment. you know, whatever that may be. Maybe you had a rough week like me, or you gave a bad performance, or the painting didn't sell the way that you thought, or you thought, or the agents are not showing up for the new book that you've slaved over the way that you thought that they would, even though you've done all the work. Like, so you can feel like, that's it, I got to give up my throne, I was never meant to be the king, I'm not the king. Okay, well, let me stop you right there. As a fellow king, as a Leo from Jersey, I got to stop you right there, and I got to say to you, absolutely not. Absolutely not. You absolutely will have the chance to be the. I mean, look at this. I mean, pile one and pile two, you were kings. See, you're kings. Definitely worse situations to be than a major arcana and two kings. You know, I just think that that's so interesting. Like, you, maybe you're, this is monetary, so maybe you're down on your money for a moment, so you feel like you have to take a pause from pursuing the goals. Like, maybe you had to stop taking the lessons because you couldn't afford them anymore. I've been there. Or maybe, you know, insurance is cutting close this month. I was overcharged by insurance. You got a Hawkeye your insurance, by the way. Are you looking at your bills? Because as an adult, my insurance overcharged me by $400 this month, and we had to get on the phone and call them up and harass them to give me a credit for the next 2 months so that I wouldn't have to pay, because they were just going to take the money and run with it. Yes, and that's legal in America. And did you know that? Let's just make sure that if you're down on your luck on your money, let's just make sure it's because you're spending it on things that you need to be spending it on. Like, don't let me find out that you have 7 uncanceled subscriptions. You know, you're paying for Tubi. You know, I get it. Spotify and Hulu, Disney Plus is bundled. Well, what about that extra 3 Crunchyroll subscriptions? Or what about, you know what I mean? I don't know. But it's just interesting that this is the way Spirit is choosing to portray it. Is like, there's a moment that you've fallen off because this could be, or a greater pause. I'm getting this idea too that you had to take a break maybe for a few years on the thing that you want to do because you needed to just build your money up. We've all been there. Absolutely been there. Does this mean that you'll never make a return? Absolutely not. So what can my piles do to get back on the throne? How does my king get back on the throne? Because we're waiting. Shrek the musical. Maybe you like musicals. The waiting, like you're Fiona. It's stuck in her tower, girl. No, or guy, or them be. You know who you are. But what can my people do? What can my people do to move towards their dreams? Spirit, help my collective. How can my collective help better move towards their dreams? How can my collective help better move towards their dreams? Especially in this world where things keep occurring so crazy, like, how can my collective better move towards their dreams, Spirit? Is there a world, I hate that question, but is there a world where we work with you to get to the best case scenario for them? How can my collective work towards their dreams, Archangel Metatron? Ask God. Well, I'm talking to God. How can my collective get closer? Ooh, we're getting crazy with it. Uh-oh, you building me a whole sentence in here, huh, Spirit? How can my collective get oh, there we go. Get closer to their dreams. Wow, look at that. All that to pop 7 of Pentacles. You're so funny. Wow, that's so funny. Stick to it. Spirit is so literal. Spirit is so literal. Stick to it. Your future looks bright. Have no fear of failure. You have learned from your past mistakes. There is a long-term offer and it is paying off. It is coming. You will be oh my God, and you will build friendships and partnerships during this. Keep towards it, even in these moments. Isn't that so crazy that we live in a time where we can be celebrating so much and then also at the same time have these stagnant moments where we feel poor, set back, like we're a failure, like we're not good enough, like our groups are not grouping the way that they used to group. You know what I mean? Our paintings are not painting the way they used to paint. Our music's not musicking the way they used to music. Or like we missed that opportunity because that one time we didn't talk to that girl who was friends with that guy at that party because we didn't go because we got sick, or, you know, oh, whatever that blah, 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 blah reason is. Spirit's like, shut up. I got you. Spirit is so New York coded. I'm sorry. Spirit invented New York, and yes, they did. Because it's giving me shut up. I got you. That's an amazing answer, Spirit. 7 of Pentacles. What a good answer. The future looks bright. You are going to do it. Do you have anything else you want to clarify that with, Spirit? Thank you. Balance your resources, T. T. Two major factors and decisions at play here. You can handle the juggling. You can handle the juggling act. You can handle the issues with ease, with grace, but monetarily make sure that you are putting the money aside that you need to pursue your passions, you know, whatever that may be. Maybe you know that you need to upgrade that thing, because if you got that thing, then more people would buy that the thing that you have, because if you had that thing, it would make it look more professional if you had that, you know what I mean? Whatever that thing is. Are you budgeting properly? Are you budgeting properly? I feel like they don't teach you that in school, and because of that, you're sitting at home burning all your cash. I'm seeing on like online businesses like Alo Yoga or like Amazon or something, because you or books or like whatever, you know what I mean? Like there are ways that you could be saving those nickel and dimes, if I'm being honest with you, is what I'm hearing. Now you hate to hear that, and I hate to hear that too, you know what I mean? That we could be making coffee instead of going for that daily coffee. But if you're making money the way that you're making money, and you're working the hours that you're working, God bless you. You spend your money however you want. You're an adult, hopefully, watching this, and you know that is completely up to you and your prerogative. However, if that's the thing getting in the way, and you know it, and you know it, and you know it, like your taxes, mama, let's get those right, okay? We are not going to be accused of not filing our taxes when you're rich and famous, okay? We're not doing that. So what can my collective hope to one day potentially see fame? I feel like everybody's after fame these days. Can my collective hope to potentially see fame for their artistry, for the thing that they are good at? Can they hope to see fame one day, Spirit? And if they did, how would they get to fame, Spirit? That's a good one. How would one get to fame, or to at least a place that they can afford to just do the thing they want to do? How about that, Spirit? How can we work towards making it so that the passion is the job? The passion is the job, Spirit. How do we make it so that the passion becomes the job? Wow, look at that. One more for clarification, Spirit. One more for clarification, I'm hearing. One more for clarification. How can we do it so that it becomes the job? Ooh. How can we do it? One more. I lied. One more. How can we do it so it becomes the job? Thank you. Wow. T. Eight of Cups reversed, Chariot reversed, Fool reversed. Confusion about the best path to take, or remaining for fear. The best case you could make is to start fresh. Like to just do it. The best thing you could do is to stop stopping yourself from having that new beginning. Instead of being the Fool upright, instead of being the Chariot upright, instead of living in this place where you know exactly what moves you need to make and the way that it needs to happen. I mean, obviously, it's okay if that's not you. But understanding also that indecision is a decision. Wow, that's T. Indecision is a decision. The blocked path ahead, untraveled, you will never move anywhere. You have to cut through the path in order to get to the other side. Even if you make a mess, if you look behind and the Dora the Explorer way that you cut your way through the map did not, it looked crazy, but you know what? You got where you needed to go, you know? I mean, who cares how you get from point A to point B if you get there? That's sort of the point Spirit is making. Are you stopping yourself around your house? Are you getting caught up in your daily things? Do you get home from work and say, oh, I'm tired, I'll do it tomorrow? Do you get home from work, start smoking, or you start drinking, or you turn on your TV and then you watch Doechii give a performance at the Grammys, and you feel good for the night because Doechii gave a performance, it gave you a weird feeling of satisfaction as if you was you, but it wasn't you. So it's stopping you from doing the thing that you want, because every day you get spoon-fed a little bit of that satisfaction over the counter in a way that keeps you small and down, you know? If you know that you are spending 5 hours a day staring at Instagram, and it's a private Instagram, and it's not helping anyone, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? You want to be on top of na 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 na, ooh na 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 that. Maybe someone wants to be a model. That's America's Next Top Model. But you want to be on top, girl or guy. I always say girls an expression. It's like an expression. You want to be on top, girl? Then you got to make money moves. That how else to say you ain't got money because there's nothing to get. Yes, so to say. You know, if you know that you need to be posting that video of your shop or your thing in order to get big, you know that you need to be posting to a certain algorithm. You know you need to be posting a certain video style to get to the thing that you need to get, or you need to be painting in a certain color palette, or you need to be showcasing at certain showcases, and you're not leaving the house because you're giving your microdosing satisfaction. First of all, band name. Second of all, wow, that's deep, Spirit. Microdosing satisfaction to keep yourself small. No wonder you have feelings of missed opportunity. You quite literally are. Every minute that you spend sort of not doing the thing that you want to do because you keep stopping yourself by saying it's not the right time, it keeps not being the right time. It'll never happen at this rate. Wait, that's so fact, Spirit. Oh my God. What a simplification, but how true, how true. How true, yes, how true, said the sour kangaroo. Sorry, Seuss School. Also Dr. Seuss. Sort of makes you feel like the deepest answers to the universe are the simplest answers. Maybe that's what the Dr. Seuss reference is. Maybe there's inspiration even to be found in some of his books. I mean, that was a guy that if Dr. Seuss tried to tell you, think about Dr. Seuss talking to you over a bar, over like a drink. You would think he was the most insane person on this planet. Now, he's one of the biggest best-selling authors of all time that has ever walked this earth, right? And the creations and books that he has made has influenced a generation of humans, let alone artists, from the work of Dr. Seuss. And like now that's someone I could get a beer with. And that's somebody who sounded absolutely insane before he put pen to paper and started creating the things that he created, knowing what he could be. So that's the key here. Visualization. Get that future goal, get it so clear, make it so obvious, make it so you know exactly what day you're getting this award and exactly what you're going to be wearing when you are at that event and you're walking around and what you're saying when the interviewer pulls you. Live in your delusion ship, queen. Live in your delusion ship. When that interviewer pulls you aside to ask you about how you did that thing that you did, and you give that crazy story in your bedroom, or talking in the mirror with your hairbrush, or you're driving and you're giving that interview to yourself kind of a moment. Talk about how you came from nothing, like Drake, but like Drake, you know what I mean? Like you're sold like like you've come from the bottom. and did you have, when you look back and say, oh, I did this and I did this and I did this and I did this, did you do those things? Are you taking those steps? What are they going to be? What are the steps? When you say, oh, it was because I spoke to this person and because I did this event, chart the pathway to your own popularity. What are the money moves you're going to make? It is methodical. There is a methodical way to attack everything, is what I'm seeing. Wow, how tea is that? Because of your confusion, the best path forward, you are not moving at all. We need to have that future goal on lock. Wow, what an amazing and beautiful and crazy message. Any closing thoughts, Spirit? Because that's a lot to swallow. That's a big, this is something to journal about. Anything to close with? Choices. So many choices. There is, again, as I said before, there is no one right way to get there too, right? So one way didn't work. Pivot. So it didn't happen. Reframe, So that guy dumped you. Go start a band. I'm hearing that Sebastian Maniscalco bit from his comedy routine. Maybe you're a comedian. From his routine where he goes, he was 10 years old. His father came into his house, into his room, knocked on the door, said, go start a business. Hey, go start a business. So he ran outside. This little kid is like, he's shoveling in his front yard. Like, what do you want me to do? Hey, go start a business. Go do something. Go do something about it. Go do it right now. Go do it right now. Right now. Go do it right now. How about that? You wanted a sign? Here's your sign. Hashtag 222. It is February 2nd, 2025. 222. Here's your sign. Go do it. Go do it now. Go start working towards go start that website. Go make that Instagram for your business. or for your character that you're going to be, you know, your actor side. Go do it right now. Go make a decision towards your dreams. Oh my God, look at that. Make smart decisions, actions towards your dreams. Written right there on the card. You can't tell me that spirit isn't with us in everything. I was literally watching a video earlier that literally said that Metatron was with me. Literally, she named immediately how close I was with Metatron. It's so true, bestie. So true. They send me messages too. You know what I mean? To help guide all of us. And you can, and maybe that's a key for you too. If you ever get confused, just stop. Just stop. Take that second. Pray. Ask out loud for help from your spirit guides and spirit team. They are consent based. I cannot stress this enough. They are consent based, which means that they will help you. Pardon me, burp. There's your what do you call it? Confirmation. They are consent based. They will only do it once you ask them to do it. Does that make sense? You have to ask and make it very clear. Did you hear the way that I was giving exact messages and Spirit Pop's exact answers? Make it real clear. I asked them to make it real clear. How does that sound? Okay. Thank you very much. I'm going to close out this reading and I'm going to say, Spirit, for my collective and myself, for my people watching this, please let anyone who's even watching this, let their vibration be raised, Metatron, let their vibration be raised enough so that God, the ears of God, I know they are not small. They are not small, Lord. These are people, these are real people with real hopes and real dreams that are big, big aspirations for themselves and for their futures or for their children or for anyone around them. They have hopes and dreams and may they be reached directly to God's ears, from my lips to God's ears directly, and Metatron, may you help guide these people to the best of their ability to get towards the dreams. Let my people who are watching this right now be guided directly towards their dreams on the best possible path. Let them be taken swiftly. You know, let that video go viral. Let spirit work. Watch spirit work. Watch spirit work. Thank you very much. You have a wonderful rest of your night. And please feel free to take a like and subscribe if you enjoyed this message. I also earlier again did a pick a card reading, which you can go back and check out. You can also feel free to subscribe. I would love it to have you on my group. You'll be subscriber number 3. That would be so exciting. We would love to have you. I make posts like this every single day is my commitment that I have begun, and I'm enjoying it so much, so I'm gonna keep it up. All right, thank you very much. Have a wonderful rest of your night, and I will see you tomorrow.